They lost Bullion and close finish 5-2 overall. You'll see in the last round.
They were drummed by Ryan Stepp. They did, however, beat Ayakatubby and Lewis in round 6. And now, as far as Brian Lewis and Scott Ayakatubby got off a great start, win for Johnson. Loyola lost to Ryan Stepp, and on down the list of their victories. And here, 2 semi-final or playoff games. Paul Sunderland, very happy to be joined by Tim Hunt, a 4-time winner here. Gold Crown events, 1 with Kent Steffes, 3 with Mike Dodd. And you know full well what this match is like, to get into the finals, to play against Karch Kent Steffes for a chance at $100,000. Dodd, first chance. Lewis is right there. Ack must have touched it. Very windy conditions. Very windy conditions, Tim Alden. You got to think that's one of the major keys.
Major keys. They got to take advantage of those balls they get up on this bad side. They get a couple points on this side. With their serving ability, they're going to go to the other side, and they can rip off 3 jump serve aces.
This playoff game is to 11 points. We'll change sides on multiples of 4 to accommodate for the gusty wind conditions. Look at Mike Dodd.
Even Dodsey's going for it. They know they got to keep in the game and keep up with the ace factor, because Ack and Louis, probably the 2 best jump servers in the game, are going to be coming over in a little bit.
Ayakatubby and Lewis starting on the bad side with the wind at their back. Hard for them to really rip jump serves. There's a perfect example. That ball served long.
I would take a little bit off and get it deeper to Mike. Make him deal with the wind. The ball's going to be coming off the net so he can drop and dig some balls.
Not only tough passing the ball off the jump serve, but also setting, hitting, everything. What would you think from your experience, the wind blowing out here today?
The wind's blowing probably 20 miles an hour and picking up. I would on this side, I would go deeper to Dodd. So Whitmarsh is going to set the ball out to that antenna. The ball is going to be moving, maybe drop a little bit.
Going to be a major factor. We've had 3 missed serves in a row, and I'm with you, Tim. All the years I played in windy conditions, you know, the jump serve wasn't that big a factor when I was playing.
Yeah.
But just passing and setting, hitting the ball in this kind of gust was really tough.
Especially if you're off the net in a defensive play, keep the ball in play. Don't make the out and hit. Make him put the ball away.
Can somebody keep a serve in the court? Yes.
There it is.
To Louis, sweet set by Scott Ayakatubby.
Whitmarsh had his way with Louis last time they played. Louis doesn't really do real well against Whitmarsh.
Nobody does real well against him. Big blocker and very good.
But this time he sees it, goes over the outstretched arms, down to the ground.
Scott Ayakatubby back to serve. The tough one up near the net. Good save by Whitmarsh and the side out. Of course, remember Scott Ayakatubby played with Karch so successfully last season. Won 8 tournaments, twice as many as he had won in his first 11 years on tour. Mike Whitmarsh to serve out of San Diego, California. Dodd is right there. Chance to get on the board. Dodd with the crank off Brian Lewis. Dodd and Whitmarsh draw first blood. They go on top, 1-0.
I think Louis came in a little quick on that ball. He's got to keep the ball in front of Dodd with a great dig. Whitty puts it up. Too much heat for Louis to handle.
Good swing by Mike Dodd. I'll tell you, that ball moves through the hitting zone very quickly.
Well, Mike lets it come drift to him. He's one of the greater hitters. He can hit it on his left shoulder, in the middle, or on his right shoulder. Very gifted that way.
Mike Whitmarsh with the jump serve. Going to Ack. Dodd is there again. That ball blew back about 8 feet. Dodd hammers cross court.
Great ball control.
Dodd, Whitmarsh, 2-0.
Whitty struggling, but puts the ball near. Watch Dodd, knows where that line is. Cuts it off right by Ack. 2-zip. Ack and Louis need to get 1 point on that side.
Absolutely. 1 would be good. 2 would be fantastic.
And I don't think...
Near ace serve. That one won't go down in the books as an ace because the second contact was made, but the point goes on the board. In any case, we're sprinting towards 11.
Right down the middle. That's actually Ack's ball. He's got to step over a little bit on that side. When Whitmarsh is serving from the left side, it's the right side player has the middle ball. They got to talk about that.
Ayakatubby and Lewis just buying some time right now. Don't want to use one of their timeouts this early in the match. And Marvin Hall is going to charge them with a 20-second timeout for delay of game. And I think a good call by Marvin.
It's a good call by Marvin, but they just want to slow the game down, get their concentration back. Hopefully Whitmarsh goes back, because they hope they put a little pressure on Whit. He's going to have an out serve.
I love Marvin's new look. He looks particularly good in the hat camera.
Look at that. That's off his head right there. The roller derby helmet that Marvin Hall supported.
Now we get the referee's view. Hopefully we won't be able to read lips too effectively.
I want to hear what they're yelling at him about.
Mike Whitmarsh to serve. This is playoff action. Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes were undefeated in the round robin. They are in the finals. We'll see them later. One of these two teams will advance. Ayakatubby crushing the ball cross court.
Hermosa heat right there. Louis has to get back there and serve that ball tough. Watch this set by Louis, though, right on the net. Ack sees the venue, straight down. Nobody's bringing that up.
Brian Lewis, now 28 years of age, from Corona Del Mar, never played collegiate volleyball, and just like you called it, takes a little bit off the waffler up the middle and gets the ace, and we take our first side change at 3-1 in our playoff match. Dodd and Whitmarsh with the lead. For the Cuervo Gold Crown, the first stop of the 1996 tour. Heavy heat from Brian Lewis.
Louis, he gets pumped up. Watch out. He knows the wind's in his face. He's got a wicked arm swing. He's going to go back there and bomb.
Back-to-back aces by Brian Lewis.
Up right at Whitmarsh. He's protecting himself. Louis back for another one.
The difference from being on the good side and the bad side. Another rocket from Louis. And Whitmarsh dealing with it, hitting high off the top.
That's great pass by Whitty. He buffered it a little bit, brought it back, and Dodd was able to set him right on the net. A little bit off the net, Ack, and Whitty goes right off the top.
Mike Dodd to serve. Will just use the floaty, trying to work Louis deep for the long run. Louis! Now, you talked about it earlier. This beach is a pretty good place to jump, and Louis really got some sprint.
Watch Louis jump out, put that heavy cross-court heat. This is a jumper's beach. There's about 6 inches of blue sand there. Underneath it, it's hard, wet sand. This is a jumping, hitting beach, boy.
Will help Louis hit past Mike Whitmarsh, but will also help Mike Whitmarsh get way over the net. To Dodd, no, that did not clear. Points coming fast and furious once again against teams on the bad side. We're all tied at 3.
The advantage, Ack and Louis both serve the ball real tough. You got to pass the ball over the net and stay behind the ball. Don't let the ball drift over your head like Dodd did that time.
Once again, the winner here of this game to 11 will play Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes. That serve just out of bounds. I know you want to serve tough from the good side, but you take even more chances because it's so much easier to side out.
You know, early in the game, I take the chances. When you get toward the back stretch of the game, take a little off, make him side out.
Louis once again, hitting high, hitting hard, deep cross court.
Yeah, that's just a great shot. They've got to move him. I would serve Louis a little shorter on that side. Bring him to the net where Whitmarsh has the advantage. Don't let him have that big approach.
No Carl Lewis approach for him.
No.
Little hopscotch instead of a long jump. Bad set. Good shot by Scott Ayakatubby. Going on 2. And just like that, Ayakatubby and Lewis take the lead 4-3. They've scored 3 unanswered points.
Uncharacteristic bad set by Mike Dodd, one of the best bump setters on the beach. Ball moving around a little bit, came off the wrong arm.
Brian Lewis continues to serve. Now 28 years old, as I mentioned. Won last year in Belmar. And you're looking at one of the reasons why. Bomb and a jump serve will take another side change. We told you it was going to be quick because of the windy conditions. Ayakatubby and Lewis take the 5-3 lead. This is the Cuervo Gold Crown coming to you from Clearwater Beach, Florida. The playoff match waiting in the wings. Kiraly and Steffes.
Eddie Jones.
Official ball of the AVP and by Miller Lite. Life is good. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Clearwater Beach, Florida for the Cuervo Gold Crown. Paul Sunderland with Tim Hovland. Usually the heat and humidity is the story whenever we come to Florida, but today, almost gale-force winds. Who's going to step up and take control of this?
Right now, Ack and Louis can get back there and bomb their serve. But Whitty's big at the net, and Dodd has a wind experience. It's going to be a great match.
You speak about experience. Dodd and Whitmarsh are our defending champions. They mounted a tremendous comeback last year against the Brazilians.
Yes.
They're down a couple here, but they're not really feeling feeling the pressure yet?
I don't think they feel the pressure. Dodd's been around way too long, and he's helping Whitmarsh out. All they need to do is calm down a little bit. Whit needs to get some blocks and put the pressure on.
Kind of play Dodd and Whitmarsh, kind of volleyball.
That's
Dig
right.
some balls, block some balls. Get back to the court, playoff action. All right, who's ever got the biggest window of opportunity, that is going to be Brian Lewis and Scott Ayakatubby. Back to the court and action here at the Cuervo Gold Crown.
I don't think so.
Dodd and Whitmarsh. Mike Dodd back to serve.
Mike Dodd back to serve. Ayakatubby and Lewis on top 5-3. Game to 11. Louis feeling it. I'm not sure I would be serving him so much longer.
I'm with you there, Paul. It's a confidence level. He's got his confidence up. He feels good against Whit right now. Why not mix it up a little bit? Watch Ack with his great dead set right on the net. Louis keeping the ball in front of him and powering it down.
Lewis just oblivious to the wind conditions here. Dodd and Whit now on the good side. And Brian Lewis blocking this time. Don't see that configuration all that often. Into the net.
They're trying to concentrate on the serve right now. That's why Ack's having Louis go up there. He wants to cut the ball off a little bit and chance it a little bit.
I think a good idea. In these conditions, just concentrate on one skill at a time. Just like Mike Whitmarsh. Tough serve that time from Big Whitty.
That's their first ace, Paul.
5-4. Now you're not going to see many aces from them.
Ack actually didn't. He should have laid it down a little bit lower. He could have brought that ball up. Big ace for the Whitty.
Got to keep the ball in play, make the opposition touch it one more time in these conditions. Beautiful day for a sail, but not great for beach volleyball. Brian Lewis once again hammering the ball from the left side.
Quick arm swing by Louis right now. Watch this up on the net cam. Whitmarsh just a little bit late. Louis cranking it up.
Brian Lewis back to serve once again from the bad side. He and his partner Scott Ayakatubby lead 5-4 over Dodd and Whitmarsh. These were the number 4 and 5 seeds in the round robin. Kirian and Steffes were seeded first. They won the round robin. Johnson and Loyola were seeded second. They were unable to advance. Really struggled yesterday. Were perfect today, but they couldn't get back into the mix.
They struggled big time yesterday. They had 2 leads of 9-6 and choked off both those games. Not like them.
Mike Dodd to serve. Louis chopping cross court. Putting on a show here. The little guy hitting the ball. You've got Scott Ayakatubby 6'4", Mike Whitmarsh 6'7", Mike Dodd 6'5" and change. And Brian Lewis at all of 6'1", maybe putting on a hitting exhibition.
Feeling it right there, Paul, and then flying into Big Marvin Hall. Looks like he's okay.
That's more of a problem than hitting against Mike Whitmarsh.
That's a buffer.
But maybe a soft landing. Whitmarsh over the top and down.
Sending Louis again. Ack didn't really put any heat on that ball. He could have followed that one up.
Talk about the difference in terms of prize money with respect to this match. First prize, $100,000. Second prize, $16,000. You want a chance to play for the 100. Going to Ayakatubby this time. Nice little cut shot down by the Ack.
He's got great shots. People, he hits the ball all the time, but he has got great shots. A cut shot, a little loopy line shot. He can do it all.
It looks to be once again in great shape. Given the signal to his partner, Brian Lewis. Looks like he's blocking line on both sides. Louis with a deep flutter. Very different than the floater, of course. The jump flutter. I just made that up.
That's a tough serve, though. You try to go back there and hit that knuckleball and put some knuckleball motion on it. In this wind, it's tough to pass.
Forward looking at 5.
Mike Dodd, 38 years of age. This year, I think, will become the oldest player in the history of the sport to win a tournament. Maybe it will be today. Louis over the top and down, right on the sideline. Dodd, no chance to get there.
That won't go down again, though. Mike saw that. He was almost at that point. Louis brings that shot out again. I bet Dodd's on that. Dodd will set a player up. He's such a good defensive player. He'll show him the line and then take it away.
Jump serve from the bad side. Clean ace by Scott Ayakatubby.
Huge point right there on the bad side. Ack lining it up. right down the middle. Started off on Mike, came into the middle. Witt's got to take a step over.
With parting of the seas, perfect shot of hubby wife there. Ack comes back with a miss down the line.
It looked like Moses, more or less. I think it was way wide open. I don't know if Ack goes to church.
I don't know. Maybe he started.
Yeah.
Whitmarsh with the jumper to Brian Lewis. Oh, great little spin shot. With the wind, tough to get that to the sand, and Brian Lewis said, yep, thank you very much.
Sweet Lou, baby. You can feel it right there when those shots are going. You're doing something right.
Really playing with a lot of confidence.
Right. Not like the first game. Whitmarsh owned him the first time they went around. He regrouped, he came back. He's a competitor.
Timeout taken by the team of Dodd and Whitmarsh. They currently trail by 2, 6-4, after getting out to the early lead at 2-0 and 3-1. We'll be back with more of the Cuervo Gold Crown from Clearwater in a bit. This winner, these two teams in our playoff match trying to get in. Mike Whitmarsh, Mike Dodd against Brian Lewis and Scott Ayakatubby. Whitmarsh successfully over the top.
They've got to make a little move here. They got to tie it up at 6 and then hold on this side here. A couple big blocks by Whitmarsh would be huge.
Ack and Louis have made it almost look like they're on the good side. Oh, look at that. Kim Pickering on the line. Emphatic that ball was in. Marvin Hall reinforcing the call.
Here it is. It's on the line.
Wow, look how close Brian Lewis is to the play.
He's hoping it out, though. And I'm saying, we're right here. I saw that line hit.
I saw it in as well. We are right on that sideline. Both of us had a good look at it. I say that was in as well.
When you're playing, you're hoping that thing out. I could see it hit the line. I say, that's out.
And pretty gutty call with Brian Lewis so close to him.
Yeah.
We've got another timeout called here in playoff action. Brian Lewis going back and saying, I think it landed right there, and that was a big call. Ack and Lewis now up 6-5. Dodd and Whitmarsh had led this match early. There is linesman Kim Pickering, was right on the call and emphatic about it.
Look at the balls over Louis' shoulders. That thing dropped out of the sky to punch on the back line. I don't let that ball go too. It's over his shoulders. How'd that thing come out of the sky?
Unpassable ball. Dodd with the jump serve. Beautiful set by Ayakatubby. And just as you described a moment ago, when was Whitmarsh going to put the blocking lid on Brian Lewis?
Louis taking a big swing. Whitty, the biggest block on the beach, throws it back, ties this game up.
Ayakatubby and Lewis had a 2-point lead, but that was just a moment ago, an ace and a stuffed block. And we are even keel right now after coming off the flagship. Tied at 6. Brian Lewis once again ripping cross court. If you just joined us, Dodd and Whitmarsh went out to the early lead. We were tied at 3. And then Ayakatubby and Lewis took the 6-4 lead, and now we are tied at 6. Both of these teams, of course, vying for the opportunity to play Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes in the finals for $100 grand. Louis there. Lewis hits the ball out of bounds. Mike Dodd with a saving dig and a point-scoring opportunity by the board for Brian Lewis.
That was a big out ball right there. Dodd, Whitty, just with trying to control the ball. Louis can bring it right up. But watch this dig by Dodd. Giving him his lips right back. Louis plays it again. Going for the fingers right here, Paul. Just missed it. Flags it out.
Louis stuffed again by Mike Whitmarsh. Louis hitting everything cross court. Everything, and Whit finally drops and gets it.
Here we come from the net cam here. Watch how far over Whitmarsh is. There's no getting by that. Louis got to change it up now. Start going to a couple of shots. Go off the top.
Keeping it on Brian Lewis. That's tight set. No block for Louis. Whitmarsh is stuffed by Ayakatubby.
Great volleyball right there. Whitmarsh, Ack jumping into it and then posing it down. You
got too big, Whitty. Dodd and Whitmarsh with a 1-point lead. They will take a sand timeout. Just like Mike Dodd, Doug Brian Lewis. Scott Ayakatubby coming through with a big stuff block to keep the lead to only 1 for Dodd and Whitmarsh.
Louis got to get back there right now. It's a gut check. It's 7-6. They're up 6-4. They got to serve some tough balls. Don't think about those blocks anymore. Concentrate on some tough serving. Side out.
Again, this game to 11. We are not going to 15. Game to 11. Dodd and Whitmarsh lead by 1.
This was a great set. Ack with some wheels of his own brings it right back. But watch the cross court and then the pose. Oh yeah.
Mike Dodd looking for the side out rolling line. Gets all important possession of the volleyball.
Actually, Whitmarsh told him to go cut shot right there, and Doddsy blew him off with the line shot.
Plenty of time left, of course, in this match. Just under 6 minutes. That will not be a factor in a game to 11. Gorgeous set. Dodd is right there. And he's there again. Really good low bump set by Mike Whitmarsh.
Great ball control. The key to this game, I said before, is ball control. Would he not put him right on, but close enough so Dodd can just tool him out of bounds? Experienced shot there. They need another timeout.
Yeah, and they take one. 22nd timeout taken by Scott Ayakatubby and Brian Lewis. They are down to 8-6, and as much as wind has been a factor and will be throughout the rest of this tournament competition today, teams are doing a great job from the bad side. I think it's just toughness and competition.
It's competition, experience. They make it look easy. It is not easy out there. They're buffering the ball, they're controlling it, taking some good swings at it.
Who's the best wind player out here of all of these 4 great players?
No, Mike Dodd is by far the best wind player out there. You'll see his shots. He'll hit more lines in one day than I've hit my whole career, even with the wind.
You have never been so modest.
Let's take that back.
Louis hitting line, that ball called out of bounds, and a good call by Brantley down the line.
Louis is struggling right now. He knows that he had all the confidence in the world a little while ago. He had a little roll shot that got picked up. And then he comes back here. Nice short serve, as I said before. He's bringing him into Whitmarsh's zone. Tries to go down the line, pounds it, but out of bounds.
Mike Whitmarsh changes everything. Louis was on a roll offensively. Mike Whitmarsh blocks a couple of balls. And right away, Dodd and Whitmarsh take a commanding lead now by 3, 9-6. They want to get to the finals. This is the Cuervo Gold Crown coming to you. Mike Dodd, 2 points away from a chance to defend his title. Dodd and Whitmarsh, of course, the defending champions here, make that 1 point away. Mike Whitmarsh with another stuffed block will take the side change at 10-6. Dodd and Whitmarsh in control here. The playoff match at the Cuervo Gold Crown 3. Mike Dodd serving for the match for the first time. Ack from the right side. Boy, surprised if they would go to Ayakatubby. Brian Lewis having all kinds of problems.
Might just miss that serve. He's yelling at himself right now. He makes 3 mistakes in a row. You keep it on him.
Dodd and Whitmarsh, the defending champions from Clearwater last year. The first gold crown since 1989 from Mike Dodd. The first ever for Mike Whitmarsh. Whit over the top and down. You know, we haven't talked about it much here because this game has gone so quickly, but Dodd and Whitmarsh in the 3 outdoor beach tournaments this year have finished 4th and 5th twice.
Hey, they're the big game hunters, though. Dodd has always come up for the big game. He knows to give away maybe Fort Myers to come and get a Jose Cuervo $100,000. In timing is everything.
Well, as you used to say for all those great years when you played with Mike's, somebody else might be the king of the beach, but we're the king of the bank.
That's right, baby.
Big tournaments.
Big game hunters. Bring your biggest gun.
Lewis and Ayakatubby down 4. 1 point away from elimination. Make that within 3. Ayakatubby and Lewis now trail Dodd and Whitmarsh 10-7.
Ack being a little more animated than he usually is. Gets up high on the net cam, throws it back, and then gives him a little point. Better have another one in him right here.
over the top and down from Mike Whitmarsh. If you remember back to last year, right here on this same court, Dodd and Whit were just getting crushed by the Brazilians, Anginho and Loyola, when they were still together, came all the way back to win. So they know that Lewis and Ayakatubby can come back.
In this win, on this beach, anything can happen.
Match point number 3. Dodd serves the ball out of bounds.
He was going at Louis again.
Why not just float serving?
But I asked him that after the game.
Of course, all this time, Cuervo and Kent Steffes resting comfortably in the players' tent, taking in their fluids. That ball just out of bounds, and Mike Whitmarsh counting his lucky stars. There's no way he could have passed the ball. It was so high on his body, dropped just out of bounds.
Sometimes luck, better lucky than good. Here's the serve, just out of bounds. Whitty was letting it go all the way.
Match point number 4. Ayakatubby. Dodd is there. Whitmarsh can't make the play. Boy, that was heat from Ayakatubby.
He brings it as hard as anybody on the beach. Dodd was right there, almost gave him a flat chest right there.
Dodd and Whitmarsh rounding into form just in time, it looks like, to make it into the finals of the first Cuervo Gold Crown event. That's an almost impossible serve to keep in, don't you think, with all that wind at your back?
If anybody can do it, Louis can do it. He knows how to, but it's a very tough shot.
I want to see a repeat of the jump flutter. He's got so much heat on this thing, I don't see how he can keep it in bounds.
I agree.
Match point number 5. Dodd and Whitmarsh want to get this match over with, get as much rest as they can before the finals. Lewis tantalizing over the top of Mike Whitmarsh.
He says, where was that shot about 5 points ago?
Well, he tried it once, and Mike Dodd was all over it, as you predicted.
Getting a little fire.
Ayakatubby got to think about keeping this ball in play. Must serve this ball now. You're allowed 1 toss that you can catch. Twice it's delay of game. Good serve, taking a bit off. Tough chance for Lewis. Really tough chance. Ayakatubby goes over and apologizes, knows he did not give him the great set.
They worked at it.
Well, you know the pink hat. You know he's sitting up in the shade. That's Cuervo watching very closely, scouting the potential opposition. Ayakatubby once again ripping the ball off of Mike Dodd past Mike Whitmarsh.
That ball almost went up to Karch in the seats up there.
And he's sitting about 70 yards away.
He brings heat like nobody else on the beach right now. He can hit that cross court harder than anybody. Louis got to get this one good here.
They trail by 3.
The flutter.
There was the flutter. Just out of bounds.
Just making too many mistakes. They've got to make him side out a little bit more. Keep it a little more consistency. Dodd will take advantage of this.
38-year-old Mike Dodd, winner of 70 titles, serving for the match, misses, trying to get to Brian Lewis once again.
He knows where he wants to go. He's just not executing it.
No problem with respect to time, and a comeback potentially for Scott Ayakatubby and Brian Lewis, and they've had back-to-back digs. That was a tough chance for Lewis on the chase.
Tough chance. With that wind blowing it, he had a shot at it, but couldn't bring it up. They need to finish this game off, Paul. The longer that Whitmarsh and Dodd are out there, the more tired they're going to be. Whitmarsh has got to throw that ball over to Louis, get up and get a big roof right here.
Well, you could see a moment ago what Cuervo and Kent Steffes are doing. They're just sitting, watching, relaxing.
Hoping for a 12-10 game.
Yeah, like I said, there was plenty of time. They want to see every second of that expire. For the match once again, Brian Lewis off the top of Mike Whitmarsh.
Hitting a little bit higher there. Back up against the wall, no place to go. Louis changing sides for a new serve. Watch Louis, sees his hands, good quick arm swing. That's what he needs to do. Real quick, off the top, back to serve Louis.
Ayakatubby and Lewis still trail 10-7. Lewis cannot make the play. You know, interestingly, Mike Whitmarsh and Brian Lewis played in the finals right here, and a tremendous match. Brian Lewis mishandling a ball right at the end. The infamous, if my math is correct, something like $83,000 throw. I'm not really sure that that's exactly what decided it, but that's how it will be remembered.
Well, let's say that was the point that ended the game.
It was indeed.
And that's $80,000 throw. We still talk about it.
Brian Lewis and Scott Ayakatubby using one of their full timeouts. Very knowledgeable, very opinionated, come expecting a good time, and never leave disappointed.
Never leave disappointed.
There is Carchi Kent once again. Good thing he wears that.
Yeah, we can pick him out of the crowd.
Anywhere, anywhere. Ack better hurry. Oh! What a play! Complete corkscrew and crushed by Scott Ayakatubby.
Whitmarsh touches the ball. Ack on his butt, gets back up. Watch this. Michael Jordan straight down.
I'm not sure that. Yes, MJ could have done that, but maybe Ack and MJ are the only ones. Dodd over the top. Louis crushing the ball cross court against Mike Whitmarsh.
Can feel a little momentum switch here. They keep the pressure on Whit and Dodd. Ack with a great set, and Louis brings his heater right on the line. Whitmarsh a little slow on the block. When Whitty's up there, you got to watch out, but he's going right around him.
Whit was dropping off, not expecting such a great set. Ayakatubby, however, follows that up with a serve out of bounds.
Not a great play right there. You got to keep the pressure on. You have the momentum coming. Make him side out.
The score didn't come from serving. It came from digging the ball.
Right.
Match point number 11. Good pass. Lewis hits this ball out of bounds. No touch. Dodd and Whitmarsh serve for the match 11 times. They are in the finals for the second year in a row. Congratulations to Brian Lewis and Scott Ayakatubby. A phenomenal tournament. They lose here in our playoff match.